are having a good Wednesday. Finally, in St. Louis, it is warmer, which I know last time I was talking about it, but we literally went from super cold to back to being warm, and it's probably going to get cold again before it gets warmer again. This time of year, especially March, April, it's such a weird time in St. Louis, in general, just the Midwest, because you never know what the weather is going to actually do, to be completely honest. So, but also, man, look at this freaking just unicorn little thing on the top of my head. It's like I can't stand it when pimples pop up right there. It's really annoying. Thank you, rosacea. However, macros for weight loss. Let's talk about it, because I swear tracking my food was, I don't want to say the thing that made me lose weight, but it's one of the things that really set me up for success along my journey when it came to losing weight, building muscle. If you can learn about macros and learn how to track macros, then it will set you up for a lot of success. Now, what are macros? Macros, all they are is protein, carbs, fats, nothing crazy. So if you're out there on social media and you see someone talking about macros or something like that, just know that when someone mentions macros, it's just protein, carbs, fats, that's it. Now, if you're going to be tracking macros for weight loss, which I tell everybody, if you're wanting to lose weight, you should track your food. You got to track your food. You have to figure out a way to manage your food. Now, how you do that is going to be dependent person to person. For me, early on, I literally ate the same thing every single day, wrote my food down on a piece of paper. I had set my macros, and I basically just reverse engineered it to figure out what I needed to take in at every single meal to be set up for success. And that helped me a lot. That helped me a lot. And for a while, that worked. And I would say if you're at a spot in your life where maybe you don't necessarily have kids, but you have a lot of consistency, there's not a lot of variation in your day, doing something like that could be something that really works for you. Just setting your macros, basically eating the same thing every day, rinse and repeat over and over and over again. That's something that can be good for you. Now, if you are not in that phase of life, well then actually having an app and tracking your food is a great thing to do. For me, I love the First Form app. It's phenomenal. I've used it for like 7-8 years, somewhere around in there. But if you take some time to have an app, like there's even MyFitnessPal, but you learn how to scan food in and weigh your food out and plug it in, well then you're going to be set up for a lot more success, because you know beyond the shadow of a doubt what you're actually taking in. And when you're wanting to lose weight, I'm telling y'all, you got to track your food. You got to track your food early on. I know people will preach about intuitive eating and things like that, and at the start it just doesn't work, because you're going to intuitively eat yourself right into not losing weight. And then on top of that, a lot of people will bring up intermittent fasting, which isn't a bad thing, but intermittent fasting just in of itself doesn't make you lose weight. Keto in of itself doesn't make you lose weight. No diet out there, paleo, Atkins, carnivore, whatever it is you want to toss out, those in of themselves is not what makes you lose the weight. What makes you actually lose the weight is a caloric deficit. That's all it is. So by tracking your food, you're ensure you're in a caloric deficit. And what that means is you're burning more calories than you're taking in on a daily basis. You're making sure you're set up for success there. If you don't do that, if you don't track your food, then you just have no idea. It's just a shot in the dark, and I'm going to tell you, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to lose, and you're going to get really frustrated and give up on your journey like most people do. So do yourself a favor and don't do that. Don't make it harder on yourself than it already is. That's my piece of advice. I'm off my soapbox now. So what macros are: protein, carbs, fats. How you set your calories if you're wanting to lose weight. This literally works every single time that I've done it. I haven't seen it work and not work once. And if it's not working, that means someone's just not tracking their food correctly. So how you will calculate your calories. If you have less than 60 pounds to lose. If you're just looking to tone up, maybe you want to drop 10 pounds, 5 pounds, something like that. All right, well, you are going to take your current body weight, if you have less than 60 pounds to lose, and times it by 10 to 12 calories. So for example, let's say I'm 210, I want to drop down to 200. Well, I'd take 210 times 11. That would get my calories that I need to hit on a daily basis. If I hit that, I'm still in a deficit. What's up, y'all? Good seeing you. So then from there, that'll set your calories. Now, how you figure out your protein and your carbs and your fats, your protein's super easy, because if you're going to set your protein, you need to take in 1 gram of protein per pound of goal body weight. I don't know what this semi is doing, but he's cutting across lanes and it's messing traffic up. But if you're going to set your protein number, 1 gram of protein per pound of goal body weight. So that means for me, going back to my example, if I'm 210 pounds, I want to drop down to 200 pounds, I will take in 200 grams of protein. Very, very simple. You want to do that, and you need to hit your protein, because protein helps you hold on to muscle, muscle helps you burn calories. Pretty simple. Don't overcomplicate it. If you undereat protein, you're just setting yourself up to potentially lose muscle, which is not a good thing. Then you don't have a lean tone look. You just don't have the look that you want, because everybody wants that hard looking physique, so to speak. So that's protein. We went through calories, how to set your protein. Carbs and fats is very easy, because I'll be honest with you, don't get bent out of shape about your carbs and fats. They're just energy sources. I mean, carbs help fuel you through exercise. Fats help you fuel you through exercise. Now, are they important for other things? Absolutely, they are. But the big thing is, at start, don't make it more complicated than it already is going to be for you. If you have your protein, you got your calories, just make sure you hit your protein and fill in the rest with carbs and fats. So that means if you hit your protein and calories on a daily basis, and you set your calories like the way I said, if you're wanting to lose weight, well, then you're going to lose weight. Now, that's how you'll set your calories if you have less than 60 pounds to lose. For those of you who maybe you're like, oh, well, I have 100 pounds to lose, I have 200 pounds to lose. Well, you approach it slightly differently. So let's say you have, let's say, for example, I am 400 pounds and I want to drop down to 200 pounds. Okay, well, if you have more than 60 pounds to lose, then you are going to take the 10 to 12 calories times your goal body weight. So in this case, I'm not doing it by my current body weight, like when I had less than 60 pounds to lose. I'm doing it by my goal body weight, since I have more than 60 pounds to lose. So I'd take 200 times 10 or 11 or 12, whichever one I want. Doesn't matter. It'll, whatever I calculate will put me in a deficit. So that's how you actually set yourself up for success when it comes to figuring out how to figure out the overall calories if you're wanting to lose weight. Walk through how to do it for if you have less than 60 pounds to lose and more than 60 pounds to lose. Then just remember, protein is very simple. You're going to take in 1 gram of protein per pound of goal body weight and just sit there. And is it going to be more protein than you're used to? 100%, because pretty much everybody that I've helped when it comes to a journey, they've never been hitting their protein right out of the gate. You're probably going to have to rely on a couple protein shakes throughout the day out of the gate until you figure out how to meal prep better, how to cook things, stuff like that. So you're going to have to rely on protein shakes if you're wanting to hit that level of protein. But the cool thing is, it's like it is very doable for me. Typically, I'm taking anywhere from 200 grams of protein in on a daily basis to 215 grams of protein. Now, what I eat on a daily basis, it's really straightforward. I'll always wake up. I usually don't eat anything for a little while, but then what I'll eat first most of the time is I'll have a protein bar and a protein steak, which is like beef jerky, and then after that I have overnight oats. Then from there, my lunch this week is like a buffalo chicken dish. So it's buffalo chicken, and then I have some corn, a little bit of I guess it's like a salsa, and then some rice. It's really, really good, super simple to make. Then I'll have 2 scoops of protein after my workout, Formula 1. Then once I'm done there, I'll be pretty close to my protein by then. I'll be close to 200 grams of protein, and I'll typically just fill in the rest. I'll find something that's a little higher on the protein once I get home. It could be maybe some beef, or maybe I just am tired and I want to hit another protein shake. Whatever it is, that's what I'll do. So I don't really overcomplicate it. But that's really what I do to make sure I still hit my protein and my calories. Now for you, if you're working to lose weight, well then, like I said, if you have less than 60 pounds to lose, you're going to take 10 to 12 calories times your goal body weight, or times your current body weight. If you have more than 60 pounds to lose, you're going to take 10 to 12 calories times your goal body weight. So that's how you figure out the calories. Remember, protein, you always set it at 1 gram of protein per pound of goal body weight. Don't overcomplicate it. Find the food, the high protein food that's going to help you hit that number. Hit it religiously, hit your protein, hit your calories. You're going to move in the right direction. Track your food. Track your food. You got to track your food. That's anybody that comes to me and I'm helping them, I'm coaching them, that's a non-negotiable. If you don't track your food, I don't work with you. And that's just how it is, because the thing is, it's like, it's really easy for us just as humans to continue to do stuff that isn't working. And just because we're like, well, I feel like this will work. Well, if you haven't seen success with it, you should probably stop doing it. So that's where everybody has to track their food, because I know it works. And if you run the play, it will work. So with that, that's all about macros in a simple format when it comes to weight loss. If y'all have questions over it, definitely, like I said, let me know. Again, I always appreciate it when you'll hop on live. I appreciate the likes, the comments, everybody who subscribes. Remember, the whole goal of this channel is I want to be able to continue to push out information to help people along their fitness journey, primarily for the people who are similar to me from a standpoint of, you're busy, you work a lot, maybe you have a family or something like that. But I want to give you the information that you need to know to get fit in the shortest and simplest amount of time as possible, and do it for free. Do it for free. That's always the goal, is give you information and you not have to pay someone for it. Now, does it help to have a coach? Yeah, like sometimes it really helps to have a coach and have someone to hold you accountable, but I'm all for giving back and making sure people learn the things that I did not know early on, because it was a lot of trial and error before I figured out what actually worked. So again, if y'all got questions, let me know, but make it a good Wednesday, and I will see y'all again soon.